9 hikers set out on a winter expedition in the Ural Mountains in 1959. Within days, they were all dead. Their tent was slashed from the inside. Their bodies scattered across frozen ground in the pitch dark. Some had injuries that made absolutely no sense. No witnesses. No explanation. This is the Dyatlov Pass incident, and 40 years later, forensic teams still can't agree on what killed them. The official investigation blamed exposure and hypothermia. But here's where it breaks down. Why would terrified people tear their own tent apart from the inside during a blizzard? Why were bodies found wearing clothes ripped from other corpses nearby? One victim had all the skin stripped from his head. Another had a crushed rib cage with zero external trauma, like something had crushed him from the inside. Modern pathologists have spent decades examining these autopsies, and every year, new theories emerge. None of them stick. Then there's the Voynich Manuscript, a 15th-century document written in an unknown language by an unknown author for an unknown purpose. 230 pages of detailed botanical illustrations, plants that don't exist. Astronomical charts. Anatomical diagrams so precise they suggest real medical knowledge. But the text? Unbreakable. Every cryptographer who's touched it has failed. Some think it's an elaborate medieval hoax. Others believe it contains forbidden knowledge, alchemical secrets or religious heresies that had to be hidden to survive the Inquisition. But here's what's psychologically fascinating. Thousands of people dedicate their lives to solving the Voynich Manuscript despite no clear reward. No money. No fame. Just the obsession itself. Why? Your brain is a pattern detection machine. Evolution built you to find meaning everywhere, even where it doesn't exist. When you encounter something that looks intentional but refuses explanation, your mind gets trapped. It can't rest. It can't move on. You become addicted to solving the unsolvable. Jump forward to 1483 England. 2 young princes, ages 9 and 12, were locked inside the Tower of London by their uncle, Richard III. They were next in line for the throne. Within months, both disappeared. Completely. For over 500 years, nobody knew if they lived or died. In 2012, researchers found bones buried under the tower. DNA testing came back inconclusive. Could be the princes. Could be someone else. The mystery simply refused resolution. The princes in the tower reveal something darker about history and belief. In medieval times, people believed God determined who deserved power. If the princes died under Richard's care, was that divine judgment? Or was the lie simply more convenient? Religious and political authorities shaped the narrative to restore order, not truth. This shows how history becomes shaped by institutional power and collective belief, not by what actually happened. We've been doing this for centuries. The Rendlesham Forest incident of 1980 remains one of Britain's most credible UFO sightings. Military personnel at a nuclear weapons base witnessed unexplained lights moving through the forest at speeds no known aircraft could achieve. The official military report labeled it a misidentification of a lighthouse. But the officers involved, trained observers, highly educated, insisted what they witnessed defied any conventional explanation. Declassified documents prove the military treated it as a serious incident. Then buried it. Here's what Rendlesham teaches us about mystery. When institutions can't explain something, they don't say "we don't know." They assign it a label. They reduce it to something familiar, a lighthouse, a weather balloon, mass hallucination. This restores order. It makes people feel safe. Religion does the exact same thing. Inexplicable events become miracles or demonic possessions. A framework replaces actual understanding. We're wired to prefer false certainty over honest confusion. The dancing plague of 1518 in Strasbourg presents one of the most psychologically disturbing events in history. A woman began dancing in the street. Alone. Feverishly. Within a week, 34 people had joined her. Within a month, over 400 people were dancing uncontrollably. They danced until their bodies gave out. Some collapsed and died from exhaustion. Physicians were called. They had no explanation. Was it mass hysteria? Ergot poisoning from contaminated grain? Religious ecstasy spiraling into psychosis? The answer remains genuinely unknown. The dancing plague reveals something terrifying about the human mind under extreme stress. Strasbourg was starving. Plague was killing thousands. Religious fear was suffocating the city. People's psychological stability collapsed. But here's the creepy part: it was contagious. Watching others dance made observers feel compelled to join. Your brain doesn't distinguish between your own desire and social pressure. Reality becomes whatever everyone around you accepts as real. That's how 400 people end up dancing themselves to death. The Mary Celeste represents mystery in its purest form. An American merchant ship discovered floating in the Atlantic in 1872. The crew had vanished. No trace. The lifeboat was missing, but there were no distress signals. The ship's cargo remained untouched. The captain's log showed no panic, no warning of danger. It's as if 10 people simply stepped off the vessel and dissolved into the ocean. 150 years of investigation and we still don't know what happened to them. These mysteries haunt us because they expose something uncomfortable. In our modern age, we believe science can answer anything. But history proves we're wrong. Evidence disappears. Witnesses lie or misremember. Coincidence creates patterns that feel intentional. Technology fails. Time erases clues. The creepiest mysteries aren't the supernatural ones, they're the ordinary cases that refuse ordinary explanations. They remind us that reality is messier, stranger, and far less knowable than we want to admit. So here's the question that matters. Given that these mysteries have resisted explanation for centuries, should we accept that some answers might be permanently lost, or does the human obsession with solving them reveal a truth about our refusal to accept the unknown? Do you think mysteries like these are worth studying even if they'll never be solved, or are they just distractions from the knowable history we should focus on instead?